TIFU by taking my girlfriend in a headlock.
My girlfriend of 3 months knows that I move and talk a lot during sleep, but I don't think she expected that much. She loves to sleep on my arm, so as usual, she was sleeping on my arm, with her back to my direction. I had a weird dream about fighting someone or someone trying to push me off a roof, not quite sure. During my self-defense, I wanted to take the guy in a headlock, so I pulled as strong as I could, and all of a sudden, I hear the voice of my girlfriend while I was asleep, with her neck between my arm. I'm glad that all of this happened in a split of a second, and I apologized right away, realizing what the heck I just had done.
Luckily, she does not remember it, but we had a good laugh about it, and I am cracking up every time I remember what happened. TLDR, in my sleep, I attempted a headlock on my girlfriend while having a weird dream, resulting in an unexpected wake-up call and a good laugh.
I had the same thing. My fiancé rolled over, hit me in the face, and when I asked him what the hell he did that for, he just muttered that's for the train tickets and rolled over. He was incredibly sorry the next morning.
When we were dating, I almost murdered my wife in my sleep. Apparently, I rolled over, put her in a headlock and said, "I know what you're up to, you sneaky bitch." Her apartment was near some regularly used train tracks. The train went by at the moment that I really started to squeeze. I got up, went to the window and said, "Oh, look, a parade," and immediately went back to sleep. She still won't let me forget it 20 years later. I will never live it down.
My boyfriend has done this. I usually fall asleep an hour after him, and I've seen him throw out punches and scratch his own face to the point where he has open cuts through his eyebrows multiple times. These comments are pushing me to get him into a sleep study.
So you have a sleep disorder. It can actually be extremely dangerous to you and especially your partner. It's honestly not something to take lightly. You should see a sleep specialist like yesterday.
My partner doesn't sleepwalk or sleep talk, but he is a twitcher sometimes. You know when you're falling asleep with that falling sensation and you twitch? He sometimes will also do it in the middle of the night when coming out of deep sleep in a REM cycle, and if he has his arm above his head, that arm is going somewhere. There's been a few occasions where I've woken up with a jolt after being hit in the middle of the night.
Early stoppage. My husband was sleeping and spooning me, and he suddenly failed/jerked his arms, waking me up. He said, "Sorry, I'm playing foosball," and rolled over without ever waking up.
Dude, you gotta see a doctor about that. You're going to seriously hurt your GF one day. Don't wait either. Could you handle the guilt if you sent her to the hospital, knowing you could have done something to prevent it?
Another voice saying you should get a sleep study done, talk to doc. This isn't normal and can cause harm, or depending on other things be an indicator of something going on with your CNS. I had a guy do something similar when I was 16. He was over at my place for the first time. Sleeping over. Duh. I woke up to being in a headlock and him muttering, "Shish, it'll be over soon." I jumped out of bed and ran. God, I was so terrified. Once I dreamt that a coyote was biting my arm. So I punched it in the face. But it was my girlfriend. And she wasn't biting my arm. She was just sleeping on it. Go get checked out before you murder yourself or someone else. That's danger if your brain is steering your body while dreaming. Tell your doctor about parasomnia. I am forever in my BF arms once we go to sleep. My advice: a pillow between your arms and her head. Husband had a dream he was in a fight or something and landed an extremely strong punch an inch from my head while sleeping. It woke me up immediately, startled, and him too profusely apologizing. It's happened more than once, but not that intense. I would have had a fracture for sure, resulting in an unexpected wake-up call and a good laugh. This story is gonna look a lot different 5 years from now if you don't get help today. Have a sleep study done. Please don't think I'm exaggerating here. This is incredibly dangerous and will only get worse over time without medical intervention. No lie, I did this too, but punched her in the head. She woke up crying. My husband used to constantly throw elbows in his sleep. He'd roll over elbow first, if that makes sense, and it never failed that I'd get an elbow to the nose. I got a few black eyes this way. Then I started making a DMZ, demilitarized zone, down the middle of our bed with pillows. This helped some, but I eventually insisted on a king-size bed so I can be on my side and my husband can keep his elbows on his side. The only time I need to worry is if we're traveling and sharing a smaller bed. Then the pillow barrier goes back in place. Happened with my ex a few times. Work on that. He actually hurt me somewhat the second time. My partner once woke me up by ripping my t-shirt in half because in his dream it was strangling and suffocating me. I won't let him forget that one anytime soon.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.